You are Locked On Celtics Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Celtics pick up the victory at home against the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to ask a favor right off the top. If you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. A little difficulty with the audio, getting a little flashing orange signal right now. Just give me a little thumbs up. Let me know that we're off and running and ready to have a little fun. Celtics break an NBA record on Friday night in a 20-point blowout victory against the Phoenix Suns. We can say as expected. Steve Lennox with you with our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, longtime college basketball play-by-play announcer, former show host, satellite radio, and ESPN radio as well. So again, just give me a little heads up there. All right, PK Tattoos, thank you very much. I'm going to continue to monitor this little flashing button, but again, you're with us on the Locked On Celtics postcast, providing reaction to every Celtics game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Celtics podcast feed all season long. Our latest Locked On Celtics postcast had happened in the second quarter. Boston Celtics now hold the NBA record for the most threes in a single season. Now the magic numbers of the night coming up in segment number 2, 14. They are 30 made threes away from 1,400 for the season. They'd be the first team to ever do that. Remember, they're the first team to ever do it 2 times in one season. They've actually done it 3 years in a row where they've hit 1,300 or more threes. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers, our first-timers, with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Hit that comment button. Join the conversation. Locked On Celtics postcast brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet with your first $5 bet on FanDuel.com. So the Celtics, again, avoid losing a second in a row. They haven't done that 3 times this year. They've had 2 two-game losing streaks. That's it. Nothing else. Celtics up 9 after 1, up 13 at the half, up 15 going to the fourth quarter, 90 points through 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, they just kind of had some fun. Brian Scalabrine saying it, this is kind of like a practice run. This is a practice game. This is an exhibition leading up to the NBA playoffs. The Phoenix Suns have now lost 5 in a row. I said it when they lost by 30 at home to the Celtics, 8-9 days ago? When the Celtics were in the midst of a 6-game perfect road trip going 6-0. Phoenix and Drew Carter kind of mentioned it. NBC Sports Boston references early on with Scal and Drew Carter. He said it's sort of like a fight not to make the play-in tournament because the Suns, now losers of 5 in a row, entered on the outside looking in. But it seems like the Kings, the Mavericks, and Suns, they kind of want to go home a week from this Sunday. We'll see how it plays out. But the Celtics, great to see Jaylen Brown with a 31 spot. 9th time this season where Jaylen Brown goes for 30 or more. I didn't like his elevation. He got to the rim. Hard to say he fought his way to the rim against the Phoenix Suns, who are just a sieve defensively. I mean, seriously. Put PK Tattoos out on the court with the real Darrell, me, and a couple of others. We can get a basket against the Phoenix Suns if we execute on the offensive end. I'm going to let that sink in and then tell you probably not. But you get where I'm going with that. I mean, they just give up points. What they did against Milwaukee the other night, you didn't think they were going to change that defensively and all of a sudden say, hey, we're going to take pride playing on the defensive end. PK Tattoos. JB looked strong and had a great game. Kornet having too much fun. Yeah, they were trying. One possession, kind of an indicator of the Phoenix lack of defense. Brown understood that he had a lob opportunity twice on one possession, resulting in fouls, and on the second one, free throws for Luke Kornet. That's just the way it was. So as expected for the Celtics, the real Darrell, not understanding that first comment. Friday would be a win. Told you Friday would be a win. You did. The real Darrell. We can hear. Thank you very much. Phoenix, the real Darrell. Yeah, as I alluded to, Drew Carter said it too. They're fighting not to make the play-in tournament. Is that what we're calling it, the play-in tournament? Play-in? 6, 7, 8, 9, Eastern Conference, Western Conference. The real Darrell, Phoenix is playing for Fiji. Yeah, to get on vacation to start the summer early. It just looks like that. And this, I've said it before, this play-in tournament was to avoid this at the end of the NBA regular season. Play for pride, play to try to get in there. It doesn't seem to be working because, again, flip a coin. That's, flip a coin. Sacramento, Dallas, Phoenix, whoever wins the coin toss, you know what? You lost the coin. You lost because you're in the play-in tournament. Len, some clapping. The NBA record for the most threes in a season, that was established by the Celtics in the second quarter. Porzingis knocked down a three to tie the record. KP then had a big block on the defensive end. KP fouled 2 free throws, Celtics up by 15. And then in that second quarter, Pritchard. It was Payton Pritchard. I like that. Hitting the 1,364th three of the season for the Boston Celtics. Talking about Jaylen Brown. Great footwork around the rim in the second quarter to put the Celtics up by 20, 46-26, 13-4 start to the second quarter for the Celtics. He had one drive. There were a couple of drives where you thought, and Brian Scalabrine sort of alluded to it, of like, he didn't commit murder on his way to the basket. Because if he was confident in his explosive self, I think he would have gone up and attempted the dunk. Instead, got to the rim, laid it in softly, got the bucket. Again, Brown, 30-plus points for the ninth time this season. That's part of numbers of the night coming up in our second segment. But a sweep of the Suns, and Phoenix just, the rec league. We know what kind of defense is played in most rec leagues. Very little. And that's why, Phoenix, okay, they hit a three. Well, the Celtics matched it. Phoenix can't get stops on the defensive end. You win by 30 and you win by 20 against Phoenix on the season. And Brian Scalabrine, I was curious, I listened to him on the morning show with Frank Isola on NBA radio and Sirius XM radio at least 2 or 3 times a week, and sort of going talk show mode in the second half with Drew Carter of like, what does this Phoenix team do? Ishbia, the new owner, over the last 2.5 years? You think he wants a reboot? But they're going to be paying heavily. And Drew Carter said it. Hey, the Celtics are going to be paying on the new luxury tax going forward, and their new ownership is understanding of that in the future. And they may say, hey, you've got to get us down as much as possible. So that might be saying goodbye to players during the offseason via, contracts running out or possibly a trade or two. You've got to be creative. But Drew Carter said, hey, the Celtics are in that same sort of category of they're going to be paying big time. So it costs the Phoenix Suns a lot of money to finish, what's going to probably be a below 500 record, play in or no play in. And then you've got the Celtics and Drew Carter saying, hey, yeah, the Celtics are paying a lot of money over those thresholds as well. But they won an NBA championship last year, 18th in franchise history. They're one, again, it's a 3-team race, 2 in the East, 1 in the West. OKC is my odds-on favorite to get there. I'm not laying down a bet or anything, but it's Cleveland, Boston, OKC. I don't know who else could possibly come out of the West. I just don't see it happening. I don't see any team in the West winning 4 times in a playoff series in the Western Conference playoffs over OKC. I don't see it happening. But, Scalabrine talking, and I'm not trying to go down the road here with the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker got his. Devin Booker's been in the league 10 years, they referenced, and he's 28 years old. He had a big game, 37 points. But don't you think he's sort of tiring of this? And it hasn't worked out with Kevin Durant in Phoenix. But the Celtics, again, Brown, 31 points, 10 of 16 overall, 3 threes. Celtics knocked down 14 threes for the game. 14 of 39, so well below their season average in makes and takes on the three-point line. They were 36% on the three-point line and 52% overall for the game, 45 of 87. What were they inside the three-point line? 31 of 48, 65%. That wasn't Milwaukee from the other night against the Suns, but still impressive. Still impressive. And I want to get into Derrick White coming up in the second segment because At one point, Drew Carter mentioned, and I might be going heavy with the references, but I was really into listening to what they were saying. I listened to Sean Grande and Cedric Cornbread Maxwell early on in the first quarter. Then I switched. I was able to get NBA, NBA TV. I had to watch it on my computer, all that, whatever. But just of, Drew Holiday, Derrick White, sometimes they take their shots. Sometimes they're content with not taking a lot of shots. And Derrick White was terrific distributing the basketball. And Drew Carter mentioned, I didn't get the full number, but his assists over the last couple of weeks, over 7 a game. And he hit that again. But Derrick White, when you need a big three, knocks him down in the game. The Celtics pick up the victory. And as expected, I wasn't bored with the win, but it's down the stretch now. We know that. Again, Celtics avoid a second straight loss overall. They avoid losing 2 in a row at home for the first time as well. And now 3 more victories, 57-20, 77 games in the books, and 5 to go. 3 more wins to get to that magic number of 60. I know I've been banging on that drum for a while, but at this point, you won 9 in a row. Now you've won 10 of 11. 60 wins is right there. Sweep of the Phoenix Suns for the first time since the 17-18 season for the Celtics, and they win by a combined 50 in the 2 wins. Doesn't that remind you of what the Celtics have done against the Knicks this year? Well, we're going to see the final regular season matchup against New York next Tuesday in New York. It's going to be a back-to-back. New York and Orlando, Tuesday, Wednesday, then home next weekend against the Charlotte Hornets, Friday, Sunday to wrap up the regular season. And before New York and Orlando, back-to-back nights, midweek next week, you've got Washington on Sunday. I don't know. I mean, it basically should be the same thing. You should run the Washington Wizards out of the gym, and you're probably going to hear Cooper Flagg's name. The Final Four, the Final Two will be set. The NCAA championship game will be set with the semifinals on Saturday in San Antonio. But you could be hearing a lot. Cooper Flagg, Washington Wizards. Does he stay for another season so he doesn't have to go number 1 overall to Washington or wherever he may not want to go? Who knows? But you're going to hear that. The over-under's 3 on Sunday for Brian Scalabrine and Cooper Flagg, capture the flag moments. I say that because the first time I heard capture the flag was early on in the regular season when the Celtics, I believe, were down in D.C. to take on the Wizards. So again, Celtics pick up the victory. 18-2 now on the season. I think Drew Carter had it wrong. 18-2 on the season after a loss. And the victory against Phoenix, bye-bye to the West until the NBA Finals. Celtics, final 5 games against Eastern Conference opponents, and 22-8 against the West this season. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I know I rolled out a lot of numbers there. I know I always like to say numbers of the night coming up in segment number 2. I didn't really do the production elements, but Celtics win, and again, win by 20 against the Phoenix Suns.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Be talking about what I've been talking about over 13 plus minutes on our latest Locked On Celtics postcast. This is 2 of 3 for me with Locked On Friday. Red Sox win their home opener at Fenway earlier in the day Friday, and also on the Locked On MLB Tonight show as well with Lindsey Cosby. We'll be doing that early, probably a little after midnight Eastern. So that's a new show that we're adding on as well. But the Celtics pick up the victory. Again, what you're talking about, NBA record for the Celtics. They're going to hit 1,400 or more threes in a single season. That's never been done in the NBA. That, friends, is impressive. More of your comments with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. What are you thinking of the Celtics right now? 5 to go. I'm really not looking forward to Washington on Sunday, but we're going to be here. Numbers of the night, some more thoughts on the NBA as we continue. Locked On Celtics postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel and a Locked On Sports Podcasting Network. We are presented by 5 Hour Energy. You know what? I think I need one. Daylight savings time sneaking up on us again. And if you're feeling, if you've got that feeling that you lost that hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, Sometimes, though, you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching NCAA tournament games, squeezing in a round of golf at dusk after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. Basketball madness, well, you might be staying up late again, watching all that tournament action. 5 Hour Energy can help keep you up and keep you up the next day as well. Extra daylight hour activities, yeah, longer days. You might love getting outside for a hike or a run. Tropical Burst could be your go-to for that run late day. Again, Tropical Burst, go-to for that quick boost. Whether you're at a game or traveling, 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab, and it will keep you feeling refreshed. 5hourenergy.com. Go there, 5hourenergy.com, to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery store or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. Locked On Celtics postcast. Locked On Celtics postcast. Locked On Sports Network, your team, your Celtics every day, presented by FanDuel. The NCAA tournament is here. FanDuel is giving you a chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who's cutting down the nets. Pick your favorites. Right now, you might have your eye on a few underdogs this year. It's gone chalk so far. And FanDuel is going to make it easy for you to back them with spreads, totals, and game props. With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on all the college hoops action all tournament long. Celtics pick up the victory. 6 in double figures, including Kornet and Pritchard off the bench. Celtics 14 threes. Almost ended up with 30 assists. Did not. Fell just too shy with 28 on 45 made field goals. But again, the Celtics shooting 52% from the field in their 20-point victory against the Phoenix Suns. They sweep the season series against Phoenix for the first time since, the 2017 2018 NBA season. So, yeah, that's confirmed right there in my notes. And Celtics, again, pick up the victory. 30 more three-pointers to get to 1,400 for the season. They'll be the only team in NBA history to do that. That's pretty impressive. It really is. I mean, right now, 30 away. Celtics, 37th time this season with 90 or more points through the first three quarters. That was impressive. And the Celtics, I mentioned Jaylen Brown, 9th time this season for Jaylen Brown with 30 or more in a game. First time since the victory at home against the Lakers a while back. But the Celtics are now 5-4, just 5-4 when Jaylen Brown goes for 30 or more points in a season. It was great to see. It really was. And Brown, understanding that he's going to play through pain with this knee injury. The one thing that I was paying attention to, got after it on the defensive end, had that lateral movement, but just getting to the rim on a couple of occasions, just may not have elected to have that burst to get to the rim and have one of those hammer dunks. And that's okay. And by the way, Drew Holiday, Derrick White, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum in the starting lineup together for just the 23rd time this season. Celtics are now 17-6 with that 5, with what is your starting 5. Remember, Porzingis missed time early on in the regular season as well. But the Celtics pick up what I think is an impressive win against Phoenix, because Phoenix never got it below 10. Made it a 2 or 3 possession game in that fourth quarter. The Celtics just had too much going on the offensive end as they pick up the victory. And for the Celtics, another win where they're back to 37 games over 500. That matches the high water mark for the season. They should go over that if they're victorious against the Washington Wizards on Sunday. So the Celtics, again, 18-2 this season after a loss. And I just wanted to find one more number, because another 20-point victory, winning by 20 or more against the opposing team. And I'm going to find it. Am I going to find it? Am I going to find it? Am I going to find it? No, it doesn't feel like I'm going to find it. That's all right, though. There we go. 18 wins now. 18 wins on the season by 20 or more. That's what I was looking for. They had 22 victories by 20 or more back in the 2007-2008 season. They're getting close to that, but I don't know that they get there. Maybe they get there with Washington and the 2 Charlotte games remaining on the schedule. And that's our look ahead as well, as the Celtics now take on the Washington Wizards for the final time in the regular season. That matchup Sunday night from TD Garden. Then it's on the road for 2 against the Knicks and Magic next week. And then the final 2 a week from tonight, Friday night, against the Charlotte Hornets. Back-to-back games against the Hornets to close out the regular season. I still think that's a little bit odd, but that's okay. That's just me. Want to tip our cap to our sponsors as always, 5 Hour Energy and FanDuel. And as of always, and of course, we tip our cap to you and always appreciate you when you're on board with us with our latest Locked On Celtics postcast. Our next, again, comes after the game against the Washington Wizards on Sunday from TD Garden. Celtics by 20 over the Phoenix Suns. Celtics back to 37 games over 500 with 5 more to go in the regular season. Locked On Sports Boston, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Celtics, every day.